great, and he got
held to complete the line for the Coral-Eclipse, the 129th running in the company of Richard Hoyles.
And the 50th sponsored by Coral, a mile and a quarter, 10 furlongs, the distance between the Guineas and the Derby in the clash of the generations. The 6 runners leave the stalls. And Ombudsman moving forward, hot as hell, and Delacroix, Camille Pissarro towards the back, and Ruling Court. So as they settle down, hot as hell and Sozy are the two that are cutting out the running, and Delacroix gives up that position, and Ombudsman, ridden a lot closer today, is on Delacroix's outside, then Camille Pissarro, Ruling Court, who initially was more settled but got warm in the last few moments, and is carting Machine Murphy up the inside. So it's Sozy who has the lead, but he's just steadied the pace. Hot as hell, Ombudsman playing a different role today, moving up 3 wide. Back in 4th place on the inside is Ruling Court, and the two that we felt might control the pace, the Coolmore pair, Delacroix and Camille Pissarro, are the back markers, and Ombudsman seems determined to ensure they go a good gallop here with Sozy and hot as hell. 3 wide Ombudsman, Ruling Court on the inside, Delacroix just shunts off the rail, and Camille Pissarro as they head into the bend. So it is Sozy for France, hot as hell in 2nd place, Ruling Court and Ombudsman between themselves, and the two Coolmore pair at the back, with Delacroix just nudged along for a stride or two, and then Camille Pissarro. It's Sozy who leads the turn for home. Hot as hell poised in 2nd, Ruling Court and Ombudsman. Delacroix continuing just to be nudged along, Camille Pissarro towards the outside as they race up the home straight in the Coral-Eclipse. Hot as hell poised on the outside of Sozy. Ombudsman comes next, shadowed by Camille Pissarro. Delacroix and Ruling Court still waiting in the wings as well. Sozy with on the outside, hot as hell. Ombudsman shadowed by Camille Pissarro. Ruling Court needs an out. Delacroix has nowhere to go as Ombudsman moves to Sozy. Camille Pissarro towards the outside, and Ruling Court still waiting for a run. Ombudsman, Camille Pissarro. Ruling Court had to switch. Delacroix stays on. Ombudsman leads Camille Pissarro. On the inside, Sozy. Delacroix staying on, but it's Ombudsman who controls the Eclipse on the run to the line, with Delacroix closing strongly, and Delacroix gets up to beat Ombudsman. In 3rd place, Ruling Court, and in 4th, Camille Pissarro. Ombudsman fought his way to the front. They wanted to make it a test. Ombudsman got to the front, but was run down by Delacroix. What a messy race it turned out to be. Ruling Court met trouble. Delacroix was flat to the boards, but he's run down Ombudsman, who was ridden more prominently, got to the front just as he was looking to control the race. Delacroix pounced. Ruling Court's a shade unlucky in 3rd. He couldn't get out. Camille Pissarro towards the outside in 4th place. Well, it was a clash of the generations. It almost happened in slow motion stuff. It turned into a war of attrition, and the only horse that going into this race had not won a Group 1 comes out on top. It is Delacroix who beats Ombudsman for the Eclipse.
Oh, there's so much to unpick from this race. Delacroix wins it, a 9th Eclipse for Aidan O'Brien, a 5th for Ryan Moore, who we're normally full of praise for, Jason. On this occasion, has Delacroix got him out of a massive
he
hole?
certainly has, and he didn't get done any favours by Christophe Soubion, who quite clearly shut the door and shoved him back in behind runners. This is a Herculean effect from this runner to get out and do what he's done.
Yeah, I want to take this right back to the start, because I feel like there was a lot going on throughout. So Ryan was in the purple and white colours. He jumped all right. Ombudsman jumped quite well. Camille Pissarro, Ruling Court's right there as well. Hot as hell ends up going forward, as does Sozy. But just watch where everybody ends up here. I feel like Ombudsman was the one that was really inconvenienced. Ended up getting caught 3 wide for a lot of the early stages there.
Ryan went and
almost pushed him out there?
Yeah, Ryan went and took his spot there, and he could do that because he was going to follow hot as hell. He's trying to keep him there. Now, Oisin goes forward, so there is no room to come back inside. William has to go forward down the outside, but Ryan again pushes and holds his position, so he's going to be caught a little bit deep on the track. Now, all of a sudden, the concertina back, which sees both of the Aidan O'Brien train runners last and second last.
I wonder if that's where they intended to be be. I think the Gosden team would have been watching it through their fingers with Ombudsman because he was caught wide, but he ran a good race.
Right, here's the key moment, Jason. Purple colours at the back. Ryan wants to go up the inside, blocked. Now where does he go?
He wants to come out there, and I'm afraid Sumion is having none of that whatsoever. Ruling court, he's going in the chicane, back and forth, got no room at the in whatsoever.
Look where he's come from.
Yeah, I mean, last taken back out of it, dropping back down in distance, and that Dubawi Tepin wonderful pedigree gets him out of jail.
Here you're thinking, will he get there? Will he get there? Will he get there? Ombudsman's doing his absolute best, but wow, he does eat up the ground in the late stages of the race, and just shows, doesn't it? Off the back of the disappointment in the Derby, it's got shades of Oratorio, who did that. I think he finished 10th in the Derby and then came to win the Eclipse. But again, Aidan O'Brien just shows that anything can be done.
Oh my goodness me, the man on the left there, 9 Eclipses. Also in the winning photo will be Summit. Mark Crean is here, who rides this horse every day. This is some horse. I think he's a brilliant horse to have done that. He really is. Ryan's interview is going to be fascinating, Jason.
Well,
he must have thought this is a nightmare.
He's going to be the first jockey to win the Eclipse 3 times in a row. We saw earlier last week, wasn't it, Lambourne? He's the first jockey to win 3 Irish Derbies in a row as well. But out of jail, what will he tell us?
Wowee. He's winning it for a 5th time, closing in on Lester Piggott, who won 7. Ombudsman's run a huge race in 2nd.
John and Thady Gosden just stood here, almost stunned.
No. I did warn you before. It could be a messy race. I think I was correct.
Stunned point of view that if you were analysing this race beforehand, almost the reverse of everything you might think might happen happened.
Yeah, I think Delacroix was sort of go forward. We thought the French horse would sit handy, and then of course it's all the other way around. But that happens in small fields, and it didn't turn out the way we thought. He's run a wonderful race. He was trapped rather wide and got close to a pace that the others have gone out the back with it, and Delacroix has come run us down late. So it was one of those races. You get them small. I did more earlier. You can get a messy race and you can get it different. But full marks to the winner. He's gone and outstayed a lot of them. And in the end, it was down to stamina.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Well, it was an extraordinary race, that. And Ryan Moore, having just paraded Delacroix in front of the stands, is about to make his way down the chute here at Sandown and into the winner's enclosure. In the meantime, we will grab a word with him. I had a quick word with Oisin Murphy regarding ruling court. He said great run from that horse and a very, very good race. It was an extraordinary race, an extraordinary performance, and Ryan Moore is going to talk us through it. I mean, there is so much to unpick from that. Talk us through it from your point of view, Ryan.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the first or the second or even third plan. He began okay. 2 lads both wanted to go forward, but no one really wanted to make it. But I was going to be 3 of us in the line that came out, and then obviously me and William wanted the same position. I had to give way, and they've got first run on me. He's obviously a very good horse with a mighty turn of foot, and he quickened up really well.
Did they go steady enough?
Oh, they went steady. Yeah, it was a steady run race for that class of horse. But this horse had a real good turn of foot, and that made the difference.
And did you just get pincered a little bit, sort of in the mid part of the race?
Well, like William was out deep, and we were both wanting to be in the same spot. And he's on a bigger, more experienced horse, maybe, and well, not experienced, but an older, bigger horse, and I couldn't really. I was going to waste petrol by trying to hold him there, so I thought we'd wait, and then obviously Camille came, so I had to wait again. Had to go round. It's a good turn of foot that put him out of trouble.
He tried the Derby. He's obviously won this over 1.25 miles, and he's shown, as you say, plenty of speed there. Would he get 1.5 miles this horse?
No, I think 10's fine. If anything, he probably run shorter.
And finally, we've seen Lambourne win 2 Derbies. We've seen World, the 3-year-old, beat Calpana, and this lad, the 3-year-old, has won the Coral-Eclipse. Are the 3-year-old middle distance horses a real star generation, do you think?
Well, look, you can't tell at this point, Ollie. This is we've always held him in high regard. Yeah. He's the only horse in here that hadn't won a Group 1, but he'd threatened to. And right from a 2-year-old, he was held in high regard. He's obviously out of a great race mare, Dubawi. How good they're going to stack up, well, time will tell. But they're promising at the moment.
Well done, Ryan.
Legend, Mr. Moore, legend.
MV Magna here to greet the winner. 9th win for Coolmore in the Eclipse, in what was a mess of a race, full of drama. How did Delacroix win from there? He won at 3-1. Ombudsman, the 6-4 favourite, in second. For the winner, Derby Redemption. Done it again. A 9th win in the race with a horse that was 9th in the Betfred Derby. Bouncing back with a stunning performance. At one point, £2 was matched at 370 to 1. That's how big a hole this horse was in. What a turn of foot. Quick reaction from other jockeys. Sheen Murphy described Ruling Court as a good run. He was a little bit unlucky potentially. Sosi Jason, Maxime Guillon says, didn't handle the track.
Okay, well, track, and we mentioned this morning, didn't we, on the opening show, that he was travelling outside his own country for the first time. Sometimes that can affect them ground as well.